So Blaze Hirsch asks, what can I pair with BBQ? Is that a thing?
Of course, barbecue is like one of the most important things that you need to find great wine for. Obviously, beer does great, soda's fun occasionally, but the reality is a great red Zinfandel, which is, or a Primitivo from Italy, is absolutely where you want to go here. I think the $20 to $30 range on Zins from California and the $15 to $25 range on Primitivo for Italy, those would be the two wines that excite me the most for barbecue, ribs, specifically.
Sebastiano Alessandro asks, what impact do you think new tech, NFTs, AI, biotech, agri-tech will have on the wine industry in the years to come?
Massive. Over the last 30 years, wines are more consistently awesome than they were, let's say, 40 years and back because we have better technology. Farmers know when frost is coming, they know when the weather patterns are better, and like AI, for example, will help people formulate new concepts that we can't even think of. Technology makes the world better, and it's made wine better. There used to be bad years. It's hard to have a bad year now because there's so much science and technology, and so I think the impact will be enormous.
Awesome. Carly Limbo asks, if you could only choose one wine to drink for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
I have a box of wine here, and I'm going to pull this out, and the answer is Cabernet from Chile, and it's really not. But here's the point of that little shtick that I just did. I could never just pick one. It's like when you really love something and you're really into it, it's kind of like picking a favorite child. Like, you know, I don't think it's that easy. And so I would say for me, it's time and place. If I'm stuck on a desert island and it's hot, it's more likely going to be a white wine. If I'm stuck in, you know, a cabin with 20-degree weather, I'm going to want a hearty red. Who am I with company? Am I not? Like, there's so many variables that go into it. So if I could just drink one wine, to answer it directly, I would probably say sparkling wine, champagne. But I prefer not to answer this question.
Carrie asks, what is the most unique winemaking process you know of? And does this process affect the tastes and characteristics of the wine?
I mean, there's so many cool things. Late harvesting, when you let the grapes rot so they get sweet and you make dessert wine, is like the coolest to me. Like the idea of like grapes being like having frost on them in Sauterne in France, like always is romantic to me. And I always think that's so cool. Like you're playing a game of chicken with the weather, you know, and to get the sugar levels up, but not too far before the grapes get ruined and all this stuff. So, you know, I of course it does. All the techniques impact the wine dramatically. What barrels you're putting them in? Are they in cement? Are they in wood? Are they new French oak? Are they, like, there's so many variables that go into it.
Nice. Aside from France, Germany, Napa, what region has good wine that isn't popular? For instance,
Portugal. Portugal is massively underrated. You can get crazy wine under $20 from Portugal, both red and white, and most people in the world don't think about Portuguese wines.
Dope. Josh Cooper asks, with all the consolidations we're seeing, example family brands like Schaefer being sold to large corporations, do you see this as the future of the wine industry, or will the small, innovative mom and pop brands swim back into popularity?
They're in popularity now. I mean, I think there's been tiny amounts of M&A at the highest level, but I think we've never had more small mom and pop brands today as we have ever had. Just because we've had a couple of big M&A deals of some of the super premium brands doesn't take away from the fact that we have more small family-owned wineries popping up on a daily basis.
Jamie asks, oh, this is awesome. She asks, what's the best way to find good imported wines in your area, since most that are available seem to be overpriced and generally bad quality?
Getting educated. You know, like you can go online and buy from Wine Library or Wine Text or anywhere and get crazy, you know, wines from all over the world. But if you don't know what to buy, you're finished. So you can overspend on wines of any kind. Every region, California, France, Italy, overpriced, underpriced. One of the reasons I love media is it reminds me of wine. Overpriced attention, underpriced attention. Wine, overpriced wine, underpriced wine. So this is a game of education, not resources. You can Google a wine store that can deliver to you that has a crazy selection, but do you know what to buy?
Great, that's great. Clifford asks, thoughts on the emergence of organic, natural, and biodynamic wines?
I'm excited. It's on health trends. I think people are eating smarter than ever, and I think they're drinking healthier than ever. And obviously, some of these wines have certain benefits from a clean or cosmic standpoint, but also from like, you know, alcohol levels or you know, how pure or organic they are. And so I think it's wonderful. I think it's just on consumer trend.
Cole asks, what's your opinion on second label wines?
I think a lot of times they're very underpriced. When you get a second label wine from a top producer, in some great years, when they're just picking the best grapes, their second tier grapes that they decided are not their best are better than most people's best. So there's a whole movement of second label, you know, alternate labels, private labels, both in France, California, everywhere in the world. And so declassified, there's just so many cool things that happen in the wine world where you can get top producers making even entry level wines from top producers. A lot of producers, I'll give you an example. A super unbelievable Barolo producer, when their entry level Nebbiolo, which isn't even their top Barolo, a lot of times might be 20 or 30 bucks, will outperform a lot of people's $60 wines because they're that good at what they do. My worst public speech is better than some people's best public speech. And so similar with producers of wine. You know, I love second labels, I love declassified, I love private labels, I love second wines, I love entry level wines from top producers.
That was great.
Deep.
Yeah.